They sure do, King, and with good reason. No one puts on a performance like the Raw Superstars, and that's why Raw is the #1 brand in all of sports entertainment. These WWE fans wouldn't support him like they do if he wasn't any good, King. That's not egotism on Y2J's part. That's just making the most of your God-given talents. Talk about a superstar who's let his success go straight to his head. The contempt Kurt Angle has for his fellow superstars and the WWE fans is just unbelievable.
That's not true, JR. I'm sure this arena is just full of edgeheads tonight. You might not hear them cheering, but that's probably because they're in awe of the fact that they're watching their favorite superstar.
Boy, JBL sure is a piece of work. He's got every advantage in the world: money, talent, athletic ability, and it's still not enough for him. Here comes the man who's currently scheduled to enter the Royal Rumble first. He's got a great opportunity to jump all the way to number 30 if he can win this triple threat match.
Every time he gets into the ring, we're opening ourselves up to a huge lawsuit, JR. He's got no business being in there. It's only a matter of time before he really hurts himself, or somebody else. You know, JR, I racked my brains trying to think of a single flaw in Triple H, and I couldn't come up with anything. It's like he says, he really is the only diamond in this business.
I highly doubt that, King. We've seen Rey Mysterio get in the ring with some of the biggest, meanest superstars in all of sports entertainment, and he's won more than his fair share of matches against them.
You say that like it's a bad thing, JR. I think it's great. No one forces a superstar to get into the ring against Kane, and if they aren't up to the challenge, they're probably not cut out for the WWE.
Boy, what an incredible competitor Rey Mysterio is. I'd have to say that pound for pound, he might be the most exciting superstar on the Smackdown roster.
Well, first Regal can't wrestle, and now Eugene's missing in action. Can you even defend the tag team title single-handedly? Where I come from, if you don't show up for a title match, that's a forfeit. Oh, really? Well, when I look at him, I see a lucky young punk who's living on borrowed time. Mark my words, JR. Tonight's match might mark the beginning of the end for Shelton Benjamin. I think Triple H might be the greatest superstar of his generation. I think that in the future, superstars are going to talk about Triple H the way superstars from Triple H's generation talk about Ric Flair. Eugene's picked up so many wins because it's almost impossible not to underestimate him. It's only a matter of time before the other superstars stop taking it easy on him, and then you'll be singing a different tune, JR.
That's for damn sure. And that's why I don't think there can be any doubt in anyone's mind that the superstars of the WWE are the greatest athletes in the world. Not on Smackdown or anywhere else. There's nothing else out there that can come close to the excitement of seeing the Raw superstars perform live. If you want to zip your lips for a few minutes, King, I won't complain. But don't expect me to show Chris Masters any more respect than he's shown to the WWE superstars and fans. I don't think Benoit ever won any beauty contest, King. That's probably because he was too busy putting his body on the line year after year to rise to the very top of this business. SmackDown's had its fair share of exciting matchups, King, but I'm inclined to agree with you. There's nothing like watching the Raw superstars perform live.
You say monster like it's a bad thing, JR. But everyone loves a monster, whether they want to admit it or not. Dracula, Frankenstein, and the Wolfman never go out of style.
Will you stop it? He's 165 pounds and 5'6". He might be on the smaller end of the spectrum, but that doesn't diminish his ability. I am old-fashioned, King, and damn proud of it. And if Triple H is the future of this business, I'm perfectly happy to be stuck in the past. Thank you very much. It's a Guerrero family tradition, King. He's proud of it, and it's not something that Eddie tries to hide. You know exactly what to expect when you get in the ring with Latino heat. It's what you get beat like when you're in the middle of a slobber knocker. And if you don't have the guts to stick around, you might run like a scalded dog with a case of the limber tail.
That's just your perspective, JR. But history's written by the winners. I'd change my tune if I were you, unless, of course, you want to go down in the books as being stupid enough to talk trash about Triple H. He's just protecting his spot, JR. You forget, JBL has a lot more to lose than you or me. He's a legend in this business. Heck, he's a legend in business, period.
Haas was a 2-time tag team champion in his rookie year, King. There's a difference between being arrogant and making a bold claim that you can back up.
There's that jealousy again, JR. You're lucky you're on Raw, because if you were on Smackdown, I'm sure JBL would have used all of that wealth and influence he has to get you fired by now.
Here is a man once known as the Crippler Chris Benoit, who we haven't seen much on Raw lately since RVD started up with this ECW nonsense. I don't even know if you can use the word monster to describe Kane anymore. He's become so twisted and so evil that it almost sounds like a compliment. No doubt about it, King. As far as I'm concerned, any WWE match has that potential. Everyone on the roster is an accomplished wrestler. I wish Orlando Jordan would come to his senses. This kid's got everything it takes to be one of the greats, but he's made some poor choices when it comes to associates.
Come on, JR. If I stole your wallet and got arrested, the judge wouldn't let me off the hook if I told him my grandmother taught me to be a pickpocket, and Latino Heat shouldn't be able to get away with it either. Aw, come on now, JR. It sounds to me like the green-eyed monster's rearing its ugly head. I understand why you'd be jealous of Kurt Angle, but try to keep it under control and be a professional.
Well, guess who just sat down in the seat next to me? Raw's own interim general manager, Jerry the King Lawler. I didn't expect you to be out here for tonight's main event. Where have you been the last 2 years, King? Did you miss the fact that he became the youngest world heavyweight champion of all time? I think Orton's earned the right to be a little arrogant.
I'm so happy that we have a superstar like Edge on the Raw roster. Someone who sets goals for himself and doesn't let anything stop him from reaching them. He's a great role model for young fans.
Our illustrious interim general manager, the coach, made this match tonight between Chris Jericho and the #1 contender for the World Heavyweight title. Oh, will you stop? These fans love Scotty because he never fails to entertain them. And I, for one, don't think that's a bad idea at all to keep the paying customers happy, King. There's not an ounce of quit in any WWE superstar. But the human body has its limits, and they may have been reached here in this match.
If you ask me, he's got more guts than brains, JR. He's going to WrestleMania, yet here he is demanding a rematch with Y2J. And not just any match, a TLC match.
I'm trying to remain as objective as I can, King. Quite frankly, I'd rather see a good competitive matchup than see a particular superstar win or lose this thing. You can't question the heart of any WWE superstar. But there comes a point where you're just not able to physically continue. Come on, King. You've watched Edge as much as I have, and you've seen the things he's pulled. Talk about someone whose heart is as cold as the other side of the pillow.
Now come on, JR. I'm not saying that the dead man doesn't have one or two impressive achievements to his name. I just think he's taken too seriously for a grown man who dresses like it's Halloween every day.
And here we go, folks. Mr. McMahon made this 6-man over-the-top rope elimination battle royal as a preview of this Sunday's Royal Rumble.
Well, The Undertaker might have had a pretty good ride, but I think 13 years is his unlucky number. I think it's only a matter of time before someone buries the dead man.
This upcoming Iron Man match has Royal Rumble ramifications. And given these competitors, it's bound to be a real slobber knocker. I think if you said that to Guerrero's face, he'd demonstrate exactly how seriously he takes his career. And since when is entertaining the paying customers a crime?
What's so unbelievable about it? Angle knows he's just about the best there is. Why shouldn't he have contempt for superstars who refuse to believe it, and fans who don't give him the respect he deserves?
Haas and Benjamin were both great tag team competitors, no doubt about that. But Haas has gone on to win the tag team titles again since Shelton Benjamin came to Raw. The United Kingdom's William Regal never fails to impress me with his toughness, his fire, and his resiliency. There aren't two like him in all of sports entertainment. He's taken a page out of The Rock's book. It's the most electrifying move in all of sports and entertainment. The people's elbow.
What accomplishments? Taking 16 years to finally win the World Heavyweight title? I'm supposed to kiss his feet for finally winning the title after failing time and time again?
And I wouldn't expect any less from them, King. Like them or not, you've got to respect the tenacity of each and every WWE superstar. I don't know what to think, King. I've known Benoit to be an honorable competitor for most of his career, but he hasn't always been on the side of the Angels, that's for sure.
How can you not be impressed, JR? Carlito won the United States title from John Cena in his first match ever on Smackdown. Even you can't deny that that's definitely cool. He was warned not to get involved last week, JR. Triple H was going to give him a free pass. Now he's going to have to answer to the cerebral assassin himself. Why couldn't he just do the right thing?
There aren't many superstars as diversely talented as John Cena. He's as good in the ring as he is on the microphone, and that's saying something. I'm not even going to hazard a guess, King. These superstars are so unpredictable that would be just about the most foolish thing I could possibly do. Well, one thing's for certain. These two superstars will beat the hell out of each other for the richest prize in our business, the World Heavyweight title. But at the same time, King, no one makes it up the ladder without pushing themselves to the very limit. It's a very fine line to walk. JBL's a financial wizard and a huge success in business. But what he strikes me as the kind of man who knows the price of everything and the value of nothing. I tell you, King, I've got no earthly idea how these superstars can maintain this intensity week after week after week. That's not what I'm talking about, and you know it. I'm talking about the circumstances behind this match. I hope Edge, Christian, and Trish are proud of themselves.
You've got to be kidding me, JR. I think you're more out of it than RVD is. I mean, Van Dam might have a few fans, but that doesn't mean he's as big a star as he seems to think he is. I don't know how you can say that, JR. I mean, sure, Jericho's gotten lucky a few times, but that's no reason to admire someone, especially someone as obnoxious as Jericho. Oh, please, JR. I know you like to root for the underdog, but that's ridiculous. Chris Benoit is completely overrated, and that's exactly what we're going to see here tonight.
Rob Van Dam is such an amazing athletic competitor. There's not a doubt in my mind that he's one of the WWE's biggest stars.
Why do you do that, JR? Every time you don't like someone, you call him a monster. Just because Snitsky's a big, strong guy doesn't mean you have to call him names. Yeah, and the business has done a lot for him. Michaels tries to come off as a goody two-shoes, but when it comes right down to it, he's as much of an egotist as anyone else in the business. Oh, come on, JR. John Cena's a thug. You know it. I know it. And all of these people know it. It makes me sick that he's allowed to be a WWE superstar.
No question about it, King. Every superstar on the roster has had to make more sacrifices than any other professional athlete I know. Shelton Benjamin is his friend, King. He couldn't just sit back and watch those bullies double-team him. He did do the right thing, in my view. I know that, King, but I think he's completely ignorant when it comes to things that you can't put a price on. The things like honor, respect, and sportsmanship. I can't believe I'm hearing you defend Rene Dupree, King. Has Robert Conway gotten to you? Are you a French sympathizer now, too?
How can these WWE fans continue to cheer for Eddie Guerrero, a superstar who doesn't even try to hide the fact that he wins his matches by lying, cheating, and stealing?
I've no earthly idea, but I bet Trish Stratus knows exactly where he is and why he's not here defending his tag team championship.
You know, JR, HBK might be a living legend and all, but I wish he'd just keep his mouth shut and let his actions in the ring speak for him. He's never met a microphone he didn't like. Simple, JR. Kane is natural selection in action. He weeds out the weaklings on the roster so that only the strongest superstars remain on Raw.
Here we go, folks. What a WrestleMania it's been here tonight. And now we're set for the main event. The World Heavyweight title is on the line. I'm grateful for many things about being on Raw, but I think I'm most grateful for not having to see Rene Dupree on a weekly basis.
That's ridiculous, JR. Orlando made the right decision, and it's paid huge dividends for him. And that just goes to show that he's got brains to go with all of that brawn. Well, you know what they say, JR. The candle that burns twice as bright burns half as long. I doubt that Randy Orton's going to have half the career of Triple H or Flair.
Boy, you talk about being beat like a government mule. I don't know how much more of this a human being can be expected to endure.
You know, JR, everyone goes on and on about how great The Undertaker is, but I think he's overrated. It takes more than black lights and some dry ice to impress me.
Have you ever seen a kid with the look, the charisma, and the raw power of this Mark Jindrak? Talk about your hot prospect. If I live to be 100, I'll never understand why they leave so many damn weapons under the ring. It's almost like they want the superstars to use them on each other. As far as it takes, King, we've seen them put their bodies on the line time and time again, and I'm sure tonight will be no different.
He may have more guts than brains, JR, but you never can tell. Superstars have entered at number 1 and won the whole thing, and others have come in at number 30 and been tossed right over the top rope.
Don't sell him short, King. He's earned his spot by going toe-to-toe with some true legends over the past few weeks, so he could surprise us all. I don't think that's going to happen, King. These competitors know that their paychecks come straight from the WWE fans. They're not going to let them down.
How can you say that, JR? Edge is one of the most exciting and dynamic superstars on the Raw roster, and I hope you don't drive him to Smackdown with the way you slander him.
I'd like to see a clean victory by a superstar with a lot of heart and a lot of intensity who puts on the best performance possible for the fans, King. He made the right call, in my view. He's obviously comfortable with the entry number he's got, King, and he doesn't want to risk losing it. Better safe than sorry. What a disgusting, despicable human being is Snitsky. I don't even know if you could call him a human being. He seems more like a monster to me.
I feel like we shouldn't even be talking during this match, JR. We should just silently admire the masterpiece, like we were looking at a sculpture in a museum or something. You can't tell me that you'd do anything different if you were in his shoes, JR. Jericho wants to make sure his opponent doesn't show up at WrestleMania in any condition to win the World Heavyweight title.
Something wrong with your eyes, King? You need glasses? Look at all the RVD fans in this arena. There aren't many other superstars who get this kind of reception.
It's not a crime to entertain the fans, JR. I think every superstar on the roster can make their own career decisions. I just don't think that Latino Heat's made the best.
It's always a treat to watch the Hurricane compete. This kid's got so much heart, so much fire. He's a contender, no doubt about it. No disrespect intended for our SmackDown colleagues, but no, I can't, King. I truly believe Raw is the dominant brand in sports entertainment. Having someone as volatile and unpredictable as Heidenreich can never be a good thing, King. He's a danger to himself and everyone on the SmackDown roster.
Now, JR, I told you, I'm not cut out for that corporate stuff. Mr. McMahon has appointed a new general manager, and he told me that we'll find out who it is later tonight. That's right, JR. He's still the game, and this is still WrestleMania. Triple H has gone into Hell in a Cell and survived before, and he can certainly do it again tonight.
There's no denying Angle's ability, King. And if you don't think he's one of the greats, just ask him. He'll tell you himself in great detail. You're not wrong, King. They compete every week until they are physically incapable of continuing. There's no off-season in the WWE.
No, it's just that ever since Renee went to SmackDown, I've been able to choose whether or not I want to watch him. And I've got to say, he's not too bad in small doses.
I'm not playing favorites, King. I might have issues with certain superstars as human beings, but I respect their in-ring abilities nonetheless. Yeah, but neither of them won a title at an earlier age than Randy Orton. The Legend Killer is the youngest World Heavyweight Champion in history. Quite frankly, I've never spoken to Carlito face-to-face, King, and judging by the way he treats people in the WWE, I'm not in any hurry to do so. He's certainly not stopped by conscience, that's for sure. Kane will crush anyone and anything that stands between him and his objective. I have no earthly idea what goes on in Jonathan Coachman's head, and I certainly have no idea why he made this match, King. I can't think of a superstar who's overcome the odds in a more dramatic way than Eddie Guerrero. Talk about earning your spot. He's a world heavyweight champion, King. In my book, as long as you wear that title around your waist, you're the biggest thing in the business at that moment. I hope this match ends before Heidenreich has a chance to really hurt somebody. What a brutal, unfeeling individual is Heidenreich. Oh my God! A 2x4 wrapped in barbed wire against a human body! What carnage! Eugene is such an inspiration. Every time that kid gets into the ring, he's a living symbol of overcoming adversity. Oh, London's crazy, all right. He's crazy like a fox. He does a great job of keeping his opponents off balance and wondering what he's going to do next.
I'm not sure if it's your eyes or your brain that's shot, JR, but that's ridiculous. The Undertaker should quit now, while he can still retire with some dignity.
The idea that Triple H might potentially become a role model to the next generation turns my stomach, King. I hope to hell you're wrong.
You're right, JR. General Manager Eric Bischoff may have made this a non-title match, but a win over the World Heavyweight Champion Triple H could be a step toward a real title opportunity. Come on, JR. Eddie brought most of those problems on himself. He likes to play to the crowd instead of focusing on his opponents. He doesn't take matches seriously. Whoa. Hold on there, JR. I know you and the game have some personal history with each other, but that's no excuse to try to diminish his accomplishments.
Is there any superstar in WWE who can go toe-to-toe with that man, The Undertaker? I don't think there is. I'd love to see you or anyone else try to kick Regal out of this country, King. I think he'd wind up kicking you across the length and breadth of it. It's great to see, King. I've been looking forward to this match for a long time, and I'm glad to see that it's not a disappointment.
I know he's a Smackdown superstar, JR, but I still think Kurt Angle just might be the greatest all-around athlete ever to set foot in a WWE ring.
I agree with you 100%. Whenever you put abilities of this caliber in a match together, it just gets better and better.
Well, you know what they say, JR. Pride goes before a fall. And from the looks of things, John Cena's got a heck of a fall ahead of him. Yeah, but I'm still worried about Triple H, JR. I haven't seen him since that uncalled-for attack on Smackdown last week. What kind of shape will he be in for WrestleMania? I know there's supposed to be all of this buzz about Paul London, but I think it's all hype. He's going to have to earn some more championship gold before I can take him seriously.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that, King. Cena's got some impressive accomplishments to his credit. I think he's got every right to be proud. You better hope that the Big Show doesn't hear you saying that, King. I'm not so sure he'd be as amused by your sense of humor as you seem to be. Oh, absolutely, King. I don't have to like everyone on the roster to acknowledge that they've all worked long and hard to master their craft. He's no such thing, King. Triple H and Flair turned on Orton, not the other way around. And they did it out of jealousy.
Not if he doesn't keep his mind on this match, he doesn't, JR. Jindrak's got to spend less time being impressed with himself and more time making an impression on his opponent. I noticed you didn't include the WWE title in there, JR. And that's because Booker T's never won it. Face it, when the pressure's on, Booker chokes. I know you think Randy Orton's great, JR, but no one's got a higher opinion of him than Orton himself. I wish he'd just shut his mouth and show us what he's got.
There's an awful lot of pride on the line here, King. No one in that ring wants to have to go back to the locker room as a loser. Oh no, this is classic old school wrestling at its finest. You, of all people, should be able to appreciate that, King.
I can't believe someone as out of it as Rob Van Dam could be featured as prominently as he is on SmackDown. I don't even think he knows where he is right now. I'm not saying that Jericho's not an above-average superstar, JR. I just think he's told everyone how great he is so many times that they're starting to believe it.
There's no love lost between these competitors, that's for sure. If looks could kill, somebody would be pushing up daisies right now.
Yeah, he's a real entertainer, all right. He's so busy entertaining that he can't win a match when it counts. When's the last time you saw Booker T wearing gold, JR?
Boy, when you look at these superstars, it really drives home the fact that Raw is the dominant brand of sports entertainment.
Randy Orton is such an ingrate, JR. As soon as he got a taste of success, he turned on Triple H and Ric Flair, the men who made him what he is today. Eugene had some trouble getting to the arena tonight, JR. He was supposed to take the 66 bus to get here, but he took the 33 twice instead.
They'll go as long as they need to, King. And if they can't, they won't be having their arms raised after the match. That's for damn sure. DDT! Just imagine it. The weight of two superstars driving your head into the canvas.
There he is! It's the World Heavyweight Champion Triple H! I gotta tell you, JR, he doesn't look injured to me at all. I knew he'd be okay. You know that when Charlie Haas was teamed up with Shelton Benjamin, he referred to himself as half of the world's greatest tag team? How arrogant can you get? I know you're trying to be diplomatic, JR, but face facts. Charlie Haas's best days were when he was partnered with Shelton Benjamin, and those days are long gone. Oh, come on, JR. That's just an expression. The only people who take that seriously are the ones who don't want to give the Nature Boy the credit he's earned. I have to admit, JR, I was a big fan of William Regal's back in the day, but ever since Eugene came into his life, I think he's lost his edge. Shelton Benjamin's a perfect example of why you don't want to let a young superstar rise too far too fast. All of his success has gone straight to his head.
Come on, King, look at him. The kid's got all the tools he needs to become one of the greats. A little more experience, and I think he'll be there. I think Shelton Benjamin's theme song says it all. I truly believe there's no stopping this phenomenal young superstar. I call him a monster because he's depraved, King. He has no human feeling in him whatsoever, at least as far as I can tell.
No WWE superstar ever wants to admit they've got their limits, but when you've been getting hammered like a railroad spike all match, you don't have much of a choice.
You're damn right it could. It could get bowling shoe ugly. And that's what this business is all about. It's not ballet, you know.
They're going to be talking about this one for years, JR. I can tell you right now, it's going to be an instant classic. I love WrestleMania. Love him or hate him, you got to respect Chris Benoit. But I don't think he got the job done, JR. It looks like the WWE title match is still on. Spin it any way you want to, JR. I'm not a big Shelton Benjamin fan like you, but the bottom line is, Raw got the better end of the deal on that one. Come on, JR. What could Orton have that the Game and the Nature Boy could be jealous of? They've got more than 25 world title reigns between them.
I couldn't tell you, King. These superstars are so unpredictable that you can never tell how a match is going to go. Oh, he's a terrific role model, all right. Edge is a real humanitarian, a guy who would just as soon sell you out as look at you. They sure do, DDT. A lot of superstars have used that move, but no one does it better than that man right there.
Are you talking about his decision to be JBL's chief of staff? That's how Orlando became a United States champion. Doesn't sound like a bad choice to me. This Danny Basham isn't much to look at, but you don't see them come any tougher than him. And when it comes right down to it, what are good looks going to get you in that ring?
Well, there's a big difference between seeing a monster in a movie and knowing that a real-life monster like Kane is walking the earth, King.
Ric Flair's a 16-time world champion, JR. 16 times! There's not a WWE superstar in history who's done that.
I can't imagine anything more shocking than seeing a human being buried alive, King. I've got no idea how you can top that. Well, how about going 13-0 at WrestleMania, King? How about being a 4-time WWE champion? Does that impress you? The spirit may be willing, but the flesh is weak. I don't think any human being could keep this up for long in that condition.
I won't argue with you about Cena's mic skills. He sure can't talk a good game. But when it comes right down to it, I don't think he can back it up.
These superstars are in rough shape. Fatigue has set in, and I think this match could be over before you know it. You're damn right he is. The mandible claw is locked in, and that's an excruciating maneuver if ever there was one. If wishes were fishes, the world would be an ocean. But that's not the case now, is it? Not if they have their way, King. Everything they came in here with tonight is going to be left in that ring, mark my words.
I am so glad Chris Benoit isn't the World Heavyweight Champion anymore, JR. I couldn't stand it when Raw was being represented by someone like him.
I think we're beginning to see the effects of this very tough, very physical matchup on these contestants.
I'll tell you, JR, it's rough to get to a point in a match where you want to keep going, but you just don't have anything left. And I think that's what's happening here.
Yeah, including the rules. I tell you, if Flair wasn't a WWE superstar, he'd make a great lawyer or politician. I haven't had much of an opportunity to see Carlito up close and in person, but I'll tell you this much. I'm not impressed with what I've seen thus far. He's got it! The walls of Jericho! And now he's leaning back, increasing the pressure on that lower back.
I don't think that being well-liked is a priority for Conway, JR. I think that winning is all that matters to him, and he's done his fair share of that.
I guess I can't argue with that, King. I just wonder if they'll be able to settle their differences in this match, or if it's going to wind up bigger than that.
Yeah, he lied, cheated, and stole his way to the WWE title. No doubt about that. But I don't think he's going to get away with that twice.
I'm a Raw man through and through, but I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't love to have a superstar like Rey Mysterio on the roster.
Think about it, JR. Angle only has to do it once. The next time he put it on someone, they'd be tapping out before he even started to apply pressure.
Jericho's had a hell of a lot more than luck on his side, King. You don't enjoy a career like his without being able to handle yourself in the ring. It sure does. But I just hope these superstars can settle their differences in the ring and leave it at that. With the way that traitor Batista has treated Raw, I hope to God he doesn't leave here with the World Heavyweight title.
Force of nature? More like freak of nature, if you ask me. The fact that Batista even considers himself a main eventer is ridiculous.
What a phenomenon is the animal Batista. You talk about a force of nature, you're looking at him right there. Usually I don't judge a book by its cover, King, but as far as I can tell, Danny's personality is about as ugly as the rest of him. Oh, you're full of it, King. These fans don't give a damn about Edge because they know that Edge doesn't give a damn about them either. Why would you say something like that, King? Since when is seriously injuring your opponent a measure of how great a superstar you are?
Well, just because a bunch of people believe something, that doesn't make it right. It wouldn't be the first time the fans have backed the wrong horse, JR. I don't think I've ever seen a crazier superstar than Steven Richards, JR. And let me tell you, it's hard to beat a guy who's that unpredictable.
I don't see what Orton would have to gain, King. He's got a great career here on Raw, but then again, JBL's got some deep pockets. He may well be King, but that doesn't change the fact that he's one of the most unlikable superstars on the Raw roster.
Come on, JR. Haven't you ever heard of a fluke champion? Batista got lucky. You don't get into the Hall of Fame for being lucky.
It's your last in now, King, because once Eugene wins this match, I don't think all the jokes in the world are going to matter much anymore.
I don't know how much more of this I can stand to listen to, JR. You know what the difference between you and I-95 is? You can turn off I-95.
It doesn't appear that Edge is getting much love from this crowd tonight, and who can blame them? They're certainly not getting much from Edge.
Jericho's so in love with the sound of his own voice that it wasn't enough for him to have an interview show on Raw. He had to go and become a rock star, too. Well, I'm sorry you've decided to sympathize with the losers, JR. Me, I'm sticking with a winner. I'm sticking with Edge.
Well, after another no-show, I don't think he's going to be giving Eugene the benefit of the doubt anytime soon.
I think I know why all these fans love Scotty 2 Hotty so much, JR. They like to have someone to look down on so they can feel better about themselves. That's what makes JBL so great, JR. He never sits back and rests on his laurels. He's always setting his sights higher. Oh, what do you know about cool anyway, JR? Trust me, I know cool when I see it. And Carlito is definitely cool.
I've got to give Grenier some credit. I haven't seen a superstar take so many liberties with the rules since Ric Flair.
I know Snitsky's not the most popular guy on the roster, but you've got to admit that watching a one-man wrecking crew in action is pretty exciting, JR. What a night for Raw! We've got a new World Heavyweight Champion and a new #1 contender. I love the Royal Rumble, JR.
So could I, King, but all good things must come to an end. Let's just hope it just doesn't end too soon. That's for sure. Tapping out is the last thing any superstar wants to do, but sometimes it's all you can do. One of their bigger stars, do you even watch Smackdown, King? I don't think Heidenreich's got a single fan to his name.
I don't think I've ever seen a superstar who overrates himself as much as Chris Jericho does. He must think he's Elvis or something. Me too. It almost makes it worth having to sit next to you and listen to those corny expressions of yours. What the heck is a government mule anyway? Simple, JR. Spike got sick of the fans holding him back. Now that he doesn't care what they think, he's able to focus on his matches more.
I certainly do, and there it is, the figure 4. Often imitated, but never duplicated. Oh man, I can't even imagine the pain inflicted by that barbed wire rat 2x4. What a phenomenal young competitor this Charlie Haas is. I tell you, King, I predict big things in his future. No, I didn't, King. I had high expectations, and I'm happy to say that this match has exceeded them all. Yeah, and if a single one of those title reigns didn't start with the dirtiest player in the game taking some liberties with the rules, I'll eat my damn hat.
I'll never understand what the big deal is about Batista. He's just another superstar with more muscles than brains as far as I'm concerned. Orlando Jordan's such a smart guy. Did you notice how he didn't waste any time joining up with JBL as the first member of JBL's cabinet?
Stitch as hell, that might mean the end of this match. He's risking serious injury by continuing to compete. You can fool some of the people all of the time, and all the people some of the time, but there's no fooling the WWE fans at all. I don't think Regal's lost a damn thing, King, except maybe some self-centeredness, and I hardly think that could be considered a bad thing. They certainly are. I don't know how it's going to end, but I can guarantee you they're going to leave it all in the ring. I'll tell you what, King, the WWE superstars are about the greatest athletes you'll find in any sport, period. My God, the impact of that aluminum ladder on human flesh. It's not pretty. You're not going to get me to say that SmackDown's superior to Raw, King, but if they were, John Cena would be a large part of the reason. Well, King, there's an old saying, size doesn't matter. It's what you do with it that counts, and I'm sure you've heard that one before. I disagree entirely, King. I'd bet my Oklahoma Sooner ass that this one isn't even close to being over. Right through the table. But remember, this isn't a tables match. You still got to get the title to win. My God, the brutality. Steel steps meeting human flesh. It's not pretty.
For once, we agree, JR. If Batista wants to work with JBL, let him go to SmackDown. He's no Raw champion. There's no rewards without risk, JR. And these are WWE superstars. They're not going to stop the match just because of a little blood. I can't remember the last time I saw superstars this fired up. I don't think they've even considered the possibility that they might not win this thing.
It sure is. The toughest athletes in the world are on the WWE roster, and that's a fact.
I just don't get Tajiri, JR. All of those kicks and that mist, that's not wrestling. That's not sports entertainment. And you hit the nail right on the head there, JR. The dominant brand, not the slightly better brand or the sort of superior brand.
When you think about natural-born entertainers, the first superstar that comes to my mind, quite frankly, is Booker T. No, but they spend their hard-earned dollars to watch what goes on inside it, and without them, we'd all be out of a job. My God! Did you see that, King? A 450 splash right onto his opponent. Oh, that's a lovely image, King. I'd ask you where you come up with this stuff, but I don't think I want to know, quite frankly.
Yeah, things are looking good for him now, but if there's one thing you can expect from the Rumble, it's that you never know what to expect from the Rumble. Why would you want to do something like that to Mysterio, JR? Everyone on Raw is at least twice his size. They'd destroy him.
Absolutely not. I'm a Raw man, and I have to believe we're head and shoulders better than the competition. Will you stop? How can you possibly not like Chris Benoit, King? How can you not have respect for his accomplishments? Chris Jericho did his worst, but it looks like the WrestleMania World Heavyweight title match is going to go ahead as planned. Well, judging from the shape I'm in, I don't appear to be doing too much of either, King. You're looking pretty fit, though, I must say. If one of these superstars starts to build momentum, it could be the beginning of the end of this match.
I think they're going to try to gut it out, JR, but guts will only get you so far. Sometimes it's just not physically possible to keep going. Boy, this John Cena is his own biggest fan. How come all of these rappers can't talk about anything except how great they are?
Well, I probably built up a tolerance for it after years of sitting next to someone who wears a crown in public.
I agree. Jindrak's had a couple of good moments on Smackdown, but it takes more than that to be a truly great WWE superstar.
Well, if he wants to continue shooting his mouth off the way he does, then Conway had better continue to be prepared to back it up.
You can look at any professional sport you want, JR, and you won't find more incredible athletes than the WWE superstars. You're darn right it's serious, JR. It's deadly serious. All's fair in love and war, and this is definitely a war.
I beg to differ, King. I think Tajiri's a hell of an athlete, and the crowd loves him. Seems like sports entertainment to me.
Well, you know what they say, JR. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, you can't get fooled again. What are you talking about, JR? That's just a nasty rumor spread by people who wanted to be in Edge's league but couldn't keep up with him.
I tell you what, folks, quite honestly, I don't have the words to describe what we just saw here tonight in this buried alive match.
Hope all you want, JR, but you know I'm right. Triple H has accomplished too much in his career to be called anything but a legend. I can't believe that Benoit would throw his entire WWE career away to join up with extremely crappy wrestling.
My God, what an impact! But can he capitalize and get the title before his opponent recovers?
I'll admit it, it's a little scary to watch up close, but I love watching Kane go to work. He's practically unstoppable.
He sure did, King. He was like a surgeon in there, focusing on that one injured area with precision.
He'll be lucky if he doesn't get some of what Benjamin got, JR. I've got a sneaking suspicion that Nate won't be coming down to ringside alone.
Now that's exactly what I wanted to hear, King. That Sylvain Grenier will be here to annoy me for years to come. This is Raw action at its finest. That's why Raw is the #1 brand of sports entertainment. I have no idea, King, but it wouldn't be the first time he's found himself in Mr. McMahon's doghouse. That's for certain.
How can these fans be this excited about Rey Mysterio, JR? He's so tiny that half of them probably can't even see him in the ring.
Raw's still alive! These superstars are united! Raw still got some fight in it, by God! They sure are, and they're doing it all for the WWE fans. Without them, there'd be no WWE.
If Hurricane's supposed to be some sort of superhero, then how did he get his powers? By getting dropped on his head one too many times? Of course it's personal, JR. Anytime you step into the ring with someone who wants to beat you down in order to win the match, it's personal.
What are you talking about, King? I think this is still an extremely competitive match that could go either way. You sure aren't, and that's only one of the many reasons I try to stay out of the ring whenever possible.
I know you're not the biggest Rene Dupree fan in the world, JR, but you've got to admit that he isn't a guy who misses too many trips to the gym. I don't think Paul London should be allowed to wrestle anymore until he's been examined by a psychiatrist. This kid's crazy, JR. He's a monster, JR. But that's what makes Heidenreich the success he is today. He's one of SmackDown's biggest stars.
Of course not, King. Although there was that rumor going around about your social security number was 1. I couldn't even begin to guess, King. That's why they say anything can happen here in the WWE. I think these superstars are putting on one hell of an exhibition here tonight, King. I can't wait to see what happens next. The very sight of Kane makes my blood run cold. What an inhuman monster he is. My God! He twisted in midair and caught his opponent with a flying clothesline. Michaels has impressed me more times than I can count, King. Even you have to admit that he's done a lot for this business.
You know, JR, usually when you say things like that, they sound silly. But I can't think of a better way to put it. What a match! Don't be ridiculous, JR. He's dressed like he just walked out of a comic book. How can you take someone like that seriously?
No doubt about that, King. These superstars are going to leave it all in the ring. You can count on that.
It's been said a million times, but I'll say it again. This isn't ballet. Ruthless aggression is the name of the game.
That's not what they signed up for, King. And quite frankly, I think these fans would be disappointed if they didn't go all out. Atomic leg drop. You talk about dropping a bomb on your opponent. That's exactly what that was. I don't think you'll have to use much imagination, King. I think they intend to show you right here tonight. That's for sure. No matter how beat up you are, you can't ever let your opponent know the extent of your injuries. Folks, I've got to apologize for the King here tonight. He must have gotten up on the wrong side of somebody else's bed this morning.
We're not talking about running a ball down a field or slapping a puck into a net. This is serious physical competition. You gotta admit, JR, Flair's the best in the business. With the Nature Boy in his corner, this one may be over before it starts.
This is a classic matchup, King. I'm so glad the WWE fans are getting the chance to see it. You're absolutely right about that. That's a huge win for this absolutely dominating superstar. I'm sure they haven't. That's not the kind of attitude you come in with and expect to pick up the win. And if they're smart, they'll listen. Remember, without these fans, these superstars are out of a job. And marriage is a subject which you happen to be something of an authority. Isn't that right, King? I'd like to think there's a little bit more to it than that, King. These are professional athletes, not street thugs. My God, look at the intensity of these superstars battling 15 feet above the ring.
Come on, JR. What would you know about it? The only time you're in that ring is to interview somebody or get your butt kicked.
I can't think of anywhere else, King, but I'm afraid I don't share your enthusiasm for this kind of brutality. Absolutely not. Even these trained professionals wind up pretty badly banged up after a match. That's right, King. If Triple H loses the championship, Jericho won't get his title opportunity.
Oh, yeah. Regal's a real man, all right. Didn't we fight the Revolutionary War to kick the English out of America? The Undertaker's been in WWE for 13 years now, JR, and I think it's really starting to show here tonight. JR's not going to be happy about this one, folks. I think one of his favorites is going to get beat like the proverbial government mule.
These fans love confidence in their superstars, and that's just what they're seeing from him here tonight. It's more like a little dirty dealing, King. There's a reason Flair's called the dirtiest player in the game.
That's an easy claim to make, JR. Mysterio only weighs about 90 pounds soaking wet with a brick in each pocket.
I think you hit the nail right on the head, King. And it's that unpredictability that makes it so exciting. I sure can. It's the most electrifying move in sports entertainment, the people's elbow.
Well, whatever the case, it paid off for Spike in the form of the Cruiserweight title. You can't argue with results, JR.
I don't know what match you're watching, King, but the dead man looks as good tonight as when he first appeared in the WWE. My God! Let me tell you, when a wooden table meets flesh and bone, the table wins. I don't believe it. We might see a superstar get beat with their own finishing move here. What a disgusting display. I guess a little sportsmanship was too much to ask for. This has been a hotly anticipated contest, and as far as I'm concerned, it's living up to the hype. They sure do. You almost forget about the years of training and sacrifice that went into their careers. Maybe so. But one or two big moves could completely change the complexion of this match.
Yeah, and that's where things get dangerous. If you're too proud to admit that it's not your night, you might wind up risking your career for a single match.
All right, I will. I think this one's got all the makings of a bona fide slobber knocker. How could you not be, King? These are some of the finest athletes in all of sports entertainment. You've got to ask yourself, how much punishment will these superstars be able to withstand tonight?
You better tell the cameraman not to go for any close-ups on Chris Benoit, JR. We don't want people's TV screens cracking.
I don't know if he's any Elvis, King, but he's a very successful rock star, and he's a hell of a superstar to boot.
If you say so, JR. I still think Mysterio should hit the yellow brick road and get himself back to Munchkin Land.
I don't think he's underestimating anyone, King. I think he's making it clear that he refuses to be intimidated.
Oh, he's big all right, JR. He can't even go to the beach anymore because Greenpeace keeps trying to tow him back into the ocean.
So do I, King. I'm not so sure their issues with each other are going to be solved with one match.
Oh, come on. Everyone knows you play favorites. You're always trying to kiss up to the fans by talking up whoever they're cheering for. He's not trying to get the crowd on his side, JR. He's letting everyone know that he's going to win this one, whether they like it or not.
You can cover that monitor in JR's barbecue sauce, but it ain't going to taste any better.
I think Shelton Benjamin's theme song says it all. I truly believe there's no stopping this phenomenal young superstar.
That might be true, King, but all I see is a very confident superstar who's got everything going his way.
Doug Basham hasn't been with the WWE all that long, JR, but he really seems to know his stuff. I'm impressed.
Well, King, he's no stranger to the squared circle. I just wish he'd have picked up a little decency and sportsmanship along the way. Because I want to know who's going to win. And 9 times out of 10, it's not the superstar you pick. My God, these superstars will stop at nothing to reach that title and win this match. Well, the referee had no choice. You can only stay outside the ring for so long before you're disqualified. He sure is 5-star frog splash. It looked as if he was flying there for a second. There it is, the Batista bomb. That's just raw animal power right there. I can't disagree. Getting a WWE superstar to quit a match is damn near impossible. Someone's got to get that table away from him, or this is going to be a very short match. And he came down like a sack of hammers with that fist drop. You could shatter a person's skull with that move.
Have you got both your contacts in one eye, JR? There's no way The Undertaker's going to win this match. Just look at him. I'll tell you what, JR, I've been in some crazy matches in my time, but I've never been in anything crazier than that.
Oh, man! That title belt is so heavy, and so solid, and so dangerous. I don't think it's happened yet. My favorite part of the match will be when you quit yapping and let me enjoy it.
You know, JR, it's obvious that the only exercise you get is stretching the truth or jumping to conclusions.
I cannot imagine a more grim fate for any superstar than to be buried alive.
This has been one heck of a match, JR, but I think the end is in sight. These superstars are running on fumes.
That's for sure, King. There's not another brand of sports entertainment out there that can compare with Raw.
Come on, JR. This isn't something you do when you're worried about the outcome of the match. He knows he's got it in the bag. I know he doesn't go out of his way to make fans, but I've got to say that Robert Conway is an impressive athlete.
I hope it's the latter, King. It wouldn't hurt my feelings one bit if this match lasted the rest of the night.
No kidding. When the referee has to stop the fight because one superstar can't continue, there's no question who won.
Would you look at that? A blatantly illegal maneuver. That should be a disqualification. Good God! I don't care how tough you are. A chair shot is a chair shot. Angle slam! Angle slam! He just drove his opponent into the canvas.
Yuck! The mandible claw! That's the most disgusting move in sports entertainment, JR. Oh, there's no doubt about that, JR. There's not a superstar on the Smackdown roster who could hold a candle to Raw's finest. Come on, JR. You know I didn't do it for him. I was protecting Raw's main event match at WrestleMania. Oh, come on, JR. You're just talking through your hat. And speaking of hats, when are you going to get rid of that silly thing anyway? What do you mean, just about, JR? Can you actually think of anywhere else that you can see athletes of this caliber? Oh, come on, JR. Why would you want to lower the tone of the Raw locker room by bringing in some losers from SmackDown?
It means we just saw one hellacious match, King. I hope we get to see them lock up again soon.
Of course he's counting slowly. He's a special referee, right? Probably rode the short bus here.
I wouldn't go that far, King. There are quite a few SmackDown superstars who I'd love to have on Raw. I do indeed, and there it is. The STF, expertly executed. We've got to be nearing the end, King. I don't know how much these superstars have to give.
Well, maybe the reason he keeps reminding us is because people like you don't give him the respect he deserves, JR.
I think you're right, King. These superstars seem intent on taking each other to the limit.
Oh, man! I'll tell you, JR, hell in a cell isn't nearly as dangerous as hell out of a cell.
Don't look now, King, but I think he's getting ready to electrify this capacity crowd. A military press! My God, I can't remember the last time that I saw that kind of power. I don't know how much more these superstars have in their tank, King. I think they might be running on fumes here. I was going to say that until you interrupted me. Now I'm just hoping I haven't lost Taz's phone number. Well, these superstars sure aren't going home until this match is settled once and for all.
Oh no! It's the People's Elbow! How embarrassing for The Rock to have his trademark move stolen like this!
Oh my, he's bleeding! That's an unfortunate side effect of this very physical competition. My God, can you imagine the impact of that chair on the human body?
You can sidestep it all you want, JR, but I think you're going to be having some great dreams tonight. I know I am.
I could. As a matter of fact, I think I've had more than enough of John Bradshaw Layfield. He knocked his opponent out cold. You can't ask for a more decisive victory than that.
After some of the things we've seen in this ring, JR, I think we'd better remind the folks at home not to try this stuff themselves. An unfortunate side effect? JR, this is what it's all about. Beating your opponent to a pulp. I know what you mean, JR. I don't think most people appreciate what incredible athletes these WWE superstars really are.
A huge choke slam. There's no question why he calls it the showstopper. And I think it's safe to say that these fans have seen something here tonight that they will not soon forget. It sure could. Until the referee calls for the bell, this is still anyone's match.
I don't understand how these fans can boo Edge, JR. They've got no respect for everything he's done for them. Come on, JR. It's not enough just to win a match. You've got to make it clear who's the dominant superstar.
Yes, I am. I think these superstars are putting on one hell of an exhibition here tonight. You're not wrong, King, and I hope to God I never live to see anything worse than what just transpired.
That's because he did the right thing, like Triple H said. Besides, why can't Shelton solve his own problems?
So do I, King, but this ain't ballet. This is very intense, physical competition.
Look, I understand that, and you understand that, but there are thousands of unhappy fans who might not.
I'm inclined to agree with you, King. Getting your opponent counted out really doesn't prove anything in my book.
How many times does Scotty Too Hotty have to lose before he realizes that he's just not cut out for this business?
And there's a little something for the crowd. The best superstars never ignore their fans. Tapping out might be painful, but not as painful as suffering a serious injury if you don't. The only thing special about this referee is his total lack of respect for the rules. It certainly was. His opponent couldn't even stand by the end of it. What a slobber knocker. She sure is. Man, what a DDT. That'll take a couple of inches off your height.
I am so glad Spike Dudley finally realized that playing the underdog card wasn't going to win him any matches. We knew we were going to see a heck of a match, but this might turn out to be... Oh, go ahead and say it, JR.
Booker T is such a phenomenal athlete, and he's overcome so much to get where he's at today. There's a determined look in the eyes of these competitors. No one's giving an inch. It's like a dream come true, King. Except when I have to sit here and listen to you drool over the divas.
You're right about that, JR. If you can't see yourself having your arm raised by the referee when it's over, don't bother showing up. How can Shawn Michaels keep calling himself the Heartbreak Kid? Does he really think he's still breaking hearts at his age?
He's got his opponent on the ground, and that's not where you want to be in a match with this man.
I talked to these superstars backstage before the match, and I don't think I've ever seen competitors so ready to get it on.
Look at this. Look at this! You talk about a house of fire, you're seeing it right here! How can you say that, King? How can you insult the intelligence of these WWE fans? And he's taking full advantage! Pump handle slam! My God, what an impact! I don't care who you are. A few hits from a steel ladder will take all the fight out of you.
What? Have you got both your contacts in one eye, JR? It's been obvious to me since the start of the match.
These superstars beat the hell out of each other until one of them was no longer able to stand. How embarrassing to be spanked in front of all these fans by a fellow diva. Sharpshooter! Sharpshooter! How many superstars have tapped out to this very move? I don't care who you are. A few hits from a steel ladder will take all the fight out of you. And he got it! Modified DDT straight to the ground head first! What an impact! This isn't business, King. That's a human being in there, and he's in bad shape now.
Yeah, like a police record. Come on, JR, don't sugarcoat it. Booker T's a criminal. You've got to give Big Show some credit, JR. He might be slow and clumsy, but at least he's not very bright. It's not easy, JR. There's no off-season. It's not like you've got 6 months to recover after WrestleMania.
Honestly, King, I have absolutely no idea. Anything can happen here in the WWE. She's almost succeeded in removing her opponent's top and elevating the King's blood pressure.
Oh my gosh! The power of the punch! Hey, ref! I thought closed fists were supposed to be illegal.
It was a countout, plain and simple. I'm not happy about it either, King, but rules are rules. You're too kind, King. You're also full of horse manure, as far as I can tell. I don't think anyone did, King. I think everyone lost in that one, including the WWE fans.
I wonder what he did to make Mr. McMahon angry enough to put him in a match like this. His number 30 entry spot is at stake. There's only a few things you have to avoid doing in a match, and having your shoulders touch the mat for 3 seconds is one of them.
He's got his opponent right where he wants him, and these fans know what's coming next.
Eugene has got to be the most special referee of all time. Can he even count to 3, JR?
Good God! The cell was designed to take punishment, but not like that. I tell you, King, sometimes I get exhausted just watching these superstars compete. I can't believe what I'm seeing. He used his opponent's own finishing move.
And he came down hard with that patented fist drop. That's what you call a classic old-school move.
He sure is, right on top of his opponent. 5-star frog splash. And that's coming through loud and clear here tonight in this match. They're not taking it easy on each other either. That's got to be 30 pounds of ladder connecting with flesh and bone. I don't think he's in any hurry to end this one, King. And I don't think the crowd wants it to end either. Boy, you just never stop, do you, King? You've been a teenage boy for 3 decades now, at least.
It's not just a full Nelson, JR. It's the master lock. And once you're in it, there's no getting out.
Oh, I know, King. And that's why I'm bringing a pitcher of ice water out here with me next time. Well, if I was a Guerrero, I'd make sure that Chavo's invitation to the family reunion got lost in the mail. But despite the outcome of the match, I don't think the score is settled between these superstars. The last ride! There's no move more feared in all of sports entertainment. Oh, come on. She might be allowed at ringside, but she's got no business in this match.
I don't get it, JR. What's Jericho got to do with the issues between Triple H and the #1 contender? Heidenreich might be crazy and dangerous, JR, but I don't see that as being a bad thing when he's in the ring. These superstars are putting on a great match so far, JR, but if they drop the ball, these fans will let them hear about it.
You can feel the electricity in this arena. This crowd knows what's on his mind. No doubt about it, King, but if you win, you don't have to deal with hurt pride on top of it.
Come on, JR. A WWE match is like a murder mystery. It's no good if there's no foul play.
Well, this crowd doesn't seem to share your opinion, and quite frankly, I hope this comes back to bite him.
JBL might be my favorite superstar on the Smackdown roster. I could never get enough of this guy.
And that's about the biggest splash I've ever seen. What an impact!
I can't say I agree with everything he says, JR, but I like the way Conway's all business in the ring. I'll take Booker T seriously once he wears the WWE title around his waist, and not before. See, JR, this is exactly why Raw is the #1 brand in all of sports entertainment.
It's too early to tell, King, but it's definitely one hellacious matchup, no doubt about it. We've got a superstar in the casket. This could be the end of the match and a career. I have to agree, King. If your opponent's unable to continue the match, it's pretty clear who won.
Maybe Hassan's got a point, JR. Are you sure you're not biased against him because he's Arab American? I feel like the luckiest guy in the world, JR. I can't believe I actually get paid to do this job. I've got a few for you, JR. Sadistic, depraved, and downright evil.
Well, don't let Eric Bischoff hear you say that, King, or you might wind up having to do it for free. My God! He's taken his opponent to the woodshed with that monitor. That's for damn sure, King. The WWE superstars are trained professionals. We don't have those kinds of fantasies in Oklahoma, King, but I appreciate the way they entertain these great fans here tonight.
There he goes, JR! W-O-R-M!
I'm not exactly sure what she's trying to accomplish here, but the crowd certainly enjoys it. Escaping the cage is no easy feat, but this superstar's about to do just that.
I can't remember the last time I saw a superstar dish out that kind of abuse. He earned that win for sure.
My God, the human body was never meant to withstand that kind of punishment. Boy, what a match. I wouldn't even hazard a guess as to who's going to win this thing. I tell you what, once you're in the casket, you've all but lost this type of match. He's sure not going to win over any fans with that move, but I don't think that bothers him too much, quite frankly. An atomic bomb, atomic leg drop by one of the very best in the business.
JR, you're so full of it that you've got diarrhea of the mouth and constipation of the brain. Chris Benoit thinks he's the toughest superstar in the WWE, but I think he's lying through his tooth.
He sure is. That's a huge tilt-a-whirl side slam right there. What a huge elbow drop that was. That could be all she wrote, King.
I'd ask you who you want to win this matchup, JR, but it's been pretty obvious since the start of the show who you're pulling for.
It's long distance to San Diego, but that's not going to stop him from making the call. No, but you're not going to do yourself much good in the match if you let yourself get bone tired either.
Well, anytime you've got a former Intercontinental Champion in the mix, you know you're in for a good match, JR. You can't blame the superstars for looking under the ring for weapons. Anything you find under there can be a huge help.
Super kick! My God! He damn near took his opponent's head off with that one. And it certainly is for her opponent. What an incredible diving moonsault.
I think Coach is the only person who can make me nostalgic for Mick Foley's term as general manager.
I know what you mean, King. It's hard to find words to describe the electricity in the air here tonight. He tossed his opponent into that casket like dead weight. Pardon the pun.
You know, JR, when I saw this match on paper, I wasn't too sure about it, but it's turned out a lot better than I thought it would.
I'm not so sure this one's about winning or losing anymore. I think it's become more personal than that.
Yes! Here comes the cavalry! I knew Raw wasn't just going to roll over for these guys. What? What are you saying, JR? Don't try to change the subject just because you know I'm right.
Oklahoma Slam! I was born ready for that one, King. Born and raised.
Come on now, JR. A man doesn't know what true happiness is until he's married. And then it's too late. I know you're not a fan of everybody in this match, JR, but you've got to respect their dedication to this business.
That's exactly what the fans paid to see, King, and they're not going to go home disappointed. Stop the damn match! A human being's just been thrown off the top of the cell! That's putting it mildly, King. This is it. The master lock, locked in on his opponent. What a brutal match! The referee should step in there and stop this thing.
He's got that $1 million dream locked in, and I think it's only a matter of time before his opponent is out.
Oh no, that last shot busted him open, and the blood is flowing freely. He's taken every advantage in this matchup, and it looks like he plans on taking a few more. And Lord knows it's been up there for so long that would be no easy feat. It's the Stunner! It looks like he's picked up a thing or two from Stone Cold.
Oh, sure. Now the fans start to cheer for him. Now that he's in the driver's seat.
Well, we've seen Richard's unique state of mind work against him as much as it's worked for him, King.
He could definitely use an upset win here tonight. Otherwise, he's got to hope for a miracle at the Rumble. There's all sorts of crazy stuff under the ring, and all of it can inflict a lot of damage on an opponent. Well, I don't know. I think you might be harboring a little prejudice in your heart, JR. Yes, the showstopper! Can you even imagine being slammed from that high in the air, JR? Oh, someone's in the casket! If you're not careful in a match like this, you'll be buried alive!
That's about 20 pounds of leather and gold, and that'll leave a mark. Yeah, permanently. I can't believe we just saw a superstar buried alive here tonight. Yeah, and not for the better either. I wish the ref would actually pay attention to what's going on. I hate to think about the damage that cage is doing to these superstars.
Finally, someone's gonna beat some sense into Shelton Benjamin. He doesn't deserve the Intercontinental title. A military press! Did you see that, JR? He just lifted his opponent straight above his head.
Good God! I don't care who you are. No one can stand too many of those.
I hope these fans appreciate it, JR. These superstars are putting it all on the line for them right here tonight.
They sure do, and there it is, the FU. What an impact!
It is! A modified DDT! You don't see a lot of superstars get up from that one, JR.
I think I've eaten a little too much good Oklahoma barbecue in my day, King, to hurry anywhere. We may have just seen a glimpse of what's to come at the Royal Rumble this Sunday. He sure does, King. Eye of the Hurricane. What a huge move.
Boy, when you make your opponent tap out, you don't leave any doubt in anyone's mind who dominated who.
A lot of blood, sweat, and tears have been shed in that very ring.
This is great, JR. Where else besides the WWE can you see this kind of ruthless aggression? And so do I, JR. It's the Walls of Jericho. He's got his opponent locked in.
He was playing possum, and his opponent fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. Oh, for the love of... Open your eyes, ref. I can't believe he got away with that. You don't have to like it, but that pinfall left no question who won this match. He's wrestling the match his way, and I think it's going to pay off, mark my words. I don't think this match will continue much longer, King. I don't think there's too much left in the tank here. His opponent is helpless to resist, and there's the camel clutch. He's up in nosebleed territory, and we've seen what he can do from there.
Ow! That's something you'll be feeling tomorrow. Heck, that's something you'll be feeling next week.
He's been caged like an animal, but he's only inches away from freedom now. Look at the intensity of these two superstars trying to stay on the ladder. Same here, King. We expected a solid match. We're seeing a great one unfold.
Look at these superstars, JR. They're completely exhausted. This can't go on much longer.
It's 10 feet to the top of the cage, but it might as well be a mile when you're inside it. This capacity crowd is solidly behind their superstar. Look at this.
Oh my gosh! What a pump handle slam! He just about crushed the life out of his opponent with that one.
There he goes. He just came through with a huge Dudley dog.
This is going to be a great warm-up for these superstars, JR. I think I'm ready for the Rumble right now. Wow, what a battle! When's the last time you saw a superstar knocked out like that, JR? No, that's what you call a real slobber knocker, JR. What does that even mean, anyway?
You're absolutely right, King. We've seen many superstars tap out to this very hold.
This has gone beyond just being a match, JR. I think these superstars genuinely hate each other.
And there it is, the Walls of Jericho. He's got it locked in. My God, that's about as good a pile driver as I've ever seen, King. No disrespect intended. Give the kid some time, King. He's got his whole career ahead of him, for crying out loud.
I don't think I would have done any differently, JR. It was either tap out or suffer a serious injury. I know why you don't like Carlito, JR. It's because he told you weren't cool, isn't it? How can these fans love Tajiri as much as they do, JR? They can't understand a word he says. But I guess the only book that counts is the record book. And this goes down as a win for that man right there.
The $1 Million Dream is locked in. And that's more like a nightmare if you ask me.
There it is! The people's elbow! I've got to admit it, I'm electrified, JR.
We knew these superstars weren't going to be easy on each other, but this is too much.
There he goes, JR. He's got that figure four locked in. He's going to snap that leg like a twig.
My God, what a power bomb! He might have broken his opponent in half. I was just going for a little humility there, King. I'm not surprised it was lost on you.
Well, that's the name of the game, JR. You got to keep moving. No dog ever peed on a moving car.
Oh! all the way up and all the way down again, right on the back of the head. Oh, really? Well then, why don't you just enlighten the rest of us, King? Oh my! Looks like someone's been busted wide open. This can't be good.
No way, JR. The damage had been done, and there was nothing left in the tank to break the pin with. I'll say, when you can still stand and your opponent can't, it's pretty clear who the winner is. There they are! You know, JR, panties aren't the greatest things in the world, but they're right next to it.
Well, they paid for their tickets, King, and they've got a right to say whatever they want.
Do you think Chris Benoit could be a traitor to Raw, JR? He looks a little shifty, if you ask me.
He's wasting no time in trying to escape from this unforgiving steel cage. Boy, this John Cena sure is one of the most exciting young prospects in all of WWE.
Maybe so, JR, but remember, it's not how you play the game, it's whether you win or lose.
Did you see that? Ring the damn bell! You can't let somebody get away with that. It's unusual to see a referee get so involved in a match, to say the least.
Absolutely, JR. Sometimes, no matter how hard you try, you just can't kick out.
What a shot! You can't take too many of those and expect to stay in this. Oh no! Everybody in this arena knows what's coming next.
You know what they say, all's fair in love and war, JR. And those two sure don't love each other. Oh my gosh, it's the Stunner! I told you Stone Cold was a bad influence, JR. I'd hate to be that referee, JR. Can you imagine having to tell one of these superstars no? I don't think the fans appreciated that one very much, but I don't think he cares much what the fans think.
I had a feeling their paths are going to cross sooner or later, and I'm glad I'm here to see it.
I've heard all the hype about Mark Jindrak, JR, but I still haven't seen him deliver in the ring yet.
I'm not sure this is going to win her the match, but I'm sure it gives her a psychological edge. Are you seeing what I'm seeing, King? Looks like turnabout is fair play. I don't know what's so great about watching a human being brutalized like this. I guess he is, but I'd like to see a little less sizzle and a little more steak, personally.
Me neither, JR. I guess that just goes to show that anything can happen in the WWE.
For the love of God, somebody's got to get that 2x4 away from him. Whoever said that cheaters never prosper certainly never saw this man in action. Oh, you're a scream, King. I'd love to see you try to say that to the Big Show's face.
Now, JR. I'm sure Dupree's got many good qualities that you're just overlooking.
Well, he should be. This one's not over yet, and you never know what might happen. Well, you can't ever accuse the WWE fans of being shy about saying what's on their minds.
Oh my gosh! He's got his opponent 10 feet in the air! JR, you know what's next!
He certainly isn't, King. I just wish he'd spend more time trying to improve his personality. Well, I don't know quite what to say. That's a very healthy young woman there, for sure. Modified swinging neck breaker. And I'm sure his opponent disagrees with you, King. And there it is, King. The master lock. He's executed it perfectly.
Now, if only we could get that through Michael Cole and Taz's heads, then they'd stop running their mouths on Smackdown. Wow, could you be any more biased, JR? How about some fair and balanced commentary? This match would be over by now if they hadn't, JR. You never get into the ring without doing your homework.
My God, a choke slam all the way from hell.
These superstars are so unpredictable, this match could go another 30 seconds or 30 minutes. This match has the potential to be an instant classic, and I think these fans are too stupid to realize it. I'll never understand what these fans see in Booker T, JR. How can they take him seriously?
Look at this, King. He just stole his opponent's finishing maneuver.
They haven't been going easy on each other in this match, JR, and I think it's really begun to take its toll. Oh man, it's the walls of Jericho, JR. This might be the beginning of the end.
There's only one choice to make in a situation like that, but that doesn't make it any easier.
This isn't right, JR. Triple H has done nothing to deserve this. It's barbaric. It sure is, JR. The Oklahoma Slam. That'll put anybody down for the count.
The clothesline from hell. He damn near took his opponent's head off.
Whew. Somebody get me a glass of water. Better yet, make it a bucket.
I think you're right, King. And there it is. A huge frog splash. Well, I did have some good old Oklahoma barbecue before tonight's show, but I don't think that's it, King.
You called it, JR. There it is. The Master Lock. There's no getting out of that one.
They have indeed, King. I don't think there's an ounce of quit between them. And what a powerful move! He calls that one brain damage, King. They're picking their spots, King. You got to know when to hold them and when to fold them. A devastating DDT! That'll leave you hurting for certain. Here it comes, King, the most electrifying move in sports entertainment. Oh, for the love of... Open your eyes, ref. How did you let that happen? You can play possum all night, but if you want to win a match, you've got to get up and fight. He put his opponent in the casket. He's almost got this match won. This one didn't settle anything, that's for sure. I hope we get a rematch soon. Look at him feeding off the energy from this capacity crowd. He's unstoppable.
Well, the referee called for the bell, so I guess that's it. What a letdown.
Not with that pedigree, he isn't. God, what a debilitating maneuver.
The Stone Cold Stunner! There's nothing like it in all of sports entertainment, JR. I know neither one of these superstars thought it would be him, but obviously that wasn't the case.
These top rope moves are always difference makers, for better or worse. I hope this is the end of this match because I'm not sure the King can take much more. That cage just isn't keeping them in the ring, it's also a deadly weapon. These superstars are in terrific shape, and that comes as no surprise whatsoever. My God, that's exactly why cage matches are career shorteners.
Oh, no. Every time I make a guess as to who's going to win, I never hear the end of it from you.
Both superstars are beating the hell out of each other on that ladder.
This is a mistake, JR. Everyone knows that overconfidence costs superstars matches. Like it or not, JR, Sylvain Granier's got a lot of extremely competitive years ahead of him. And there it is! The Stratisfaction! Another stratified customer, JR! Wow, what a shot! He's been busted wide open! That's gonna need stitches for sure!
I've never seen a match won with a pillow, but anything can happen in the WWE.
They're the tag champs, and the former champs are about to fight with each other. What's not to be proud of?
I think we both know the answer to that one, King. How could they compete with a match like this?
Hey, that's a pile driver! That's my move, JR! That's copyright infringement! I'm actually surprised at the outcome, JR. That match went a lot differently than I thought it would.
There's that damn sellout Chris Jericho. I hope he's proud of himself. They sure don't. We've seen more than one superstar taken out of here on a stretcher. It certainly is. I'm sure they're well acquainted with the old expression, fools rush in.
Oh my gosh! The Batista Bomb! He shook the entire arena with that one!
The referee is down, and now there's no one to maintain order in this match. You talk about physical domination. There's no question who won that match. Maybe so, King, but I don't think there was any way out of that submission hold.
You can't ever count on these fans, JR. They're fickle, and they'll abandon you in a heartbeat.
T-bone suplex! My God, what speed! What power! There's some real evil intentions in the eyes of that man right there. We've seen this one 1,000 times, and here comes 1,001.
Here he goes, up the turnbuckle. This could be really good or really bad. I wasn't expecting them to go easy on each other, but that was even more brutal than I expected.
That's not exactly a devastating attack, but this crowd is eating it up.
He always wants to get higher, and there he goes! 5-star frog splash!
Oh no, it looks like he's donned the proverbial crimson mask. My God, what a headbutt. He may have knocked his opponent out cold with that one.
Wow, I'm having a hard time focusing here.
Me too, King. This one has the potential to become an instant classic. Oh, come on now. How about a little more wrestling and a little less posturing?
Oh no! Crippler crossface! If you can't break that hold, it could break your neck!
Participant hell. This isn't his match. He's got no business being out here. There's some real evil intentions in the eyes of that man right there. Pile driver. Come on, King. If anyone would recognize that one, it's you. Well, I've got a pinfall victory over Triple H to my credit. How about you? Come on, King. He's had the crowd behind him all match, and now it's paying off.
I think I see where this one's going, JR. I don't think we're very far from the end of the match.
He's beating his opponent like a government mule with those ring steps. Well, I'm glad to hear that, King. Usually I wonder if you've even had first thoughts.
He sure is, JR. And there's his finisher. He calls it brain damage. I don't think the ref saw it, JR. And if the ref doesn't see it, it's not illegal. That's for sure, JR. If your shoulders are down for the 3 count, you lose, period.
My God, the impact of flesh and bone on those steel steps. My God, a thunderous blow from that sledgehammer. Oh boy, the adrenaline is pumping. I think this could be the beginning of the end.
No way. I can already tell this is going to be a great match, and I don't want to ruin the ending for you.
I hope for his sake that he made sure his opponent was out before he started climbing. Be unprettier. That'll rearrange your facial features for sure. And those things just don't fall apart, King. There was some force behind that. Through the table. That should give him enough time to try and grab the title. Those divas showed a lot of heart in that match, and I think the fans appreciate them for it.
You won't get any argument from me, JR. Smackdown's the minor leagues as far as I'm concerned.
Back and forth, these two are going to trade blows until someone falls. She's almost managed to remove her. King, sit back down right now. Strategy my Oklahoma ass. That's cheating, plain and simple.
Oh no! There's the modified STO! Face first, right into the ground!
Why not, King? He's a phenomenal superstar, and he knows how to pick apart his opponents.
I think we're going to find out just how much punishment the human body can withstand here tonight.
Good Lord! He just drove his opponent straight through the table. I'm not at all surprised, King. I knew this was going to be a terrific matchup. You're absolutely right, King. We've got the best superstars, the best fans.
It sure did, JR. And if I could borrow one of your lines, business is picking up. Look at these superstars, JR. They absolutely refuse to be intimidated by each other.
You talk about a restaurant quality beatdown. There's no question who won that one. Be that as it may, this isn't the sort of thing that wins matches, King.
All I see is an overconfident superstar who's throwing away the match by not following up.
I think you're right, King. What a power bomb from this lovely diva.
Wow, that might not have been strictly on the up and up, but it's going to be a huge advantage for him. You won't get any argument from me, JR. Smackdown's the minor leagues as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, for the love of... Talk about having no respect for your opponent.
The best superstars also finish off their opponents instead of giving them time to recover.
Oh my God! He just threw his opponent right off the cell!
He came in with a game plan, JR. He worked over his opponent until he could get the submission.
You've got to be crazy to wrestle a match where you might wind up buried alive.
You think this is going to be a back and forth kind of match? Or do you think this is going to be pretty one-sided, JR? I don't understand why Shelton Benjamin demanded this grudge match. What's he so upset about? Look at that! No fear whatsoever. What an amazing superstar!
My God! That foreign object is certainly being put to good use.
All right, enough! I'm getting a translator before I have to come out here with you again.
30 feet straight down! Someone's got to stop this thing! I almost hope she doesn't get that top off. I'm afraid the king might pass out.
Oh my gosh! Thrown off the cell! That's a long and painful trip! Oh really, JR? Gosh, tell me more about your in-ring experience.
He sure is! Sweet chin music right in the kisser! That much is obvious, King. What a low-down, despicable move that was. I can understand why, King. I can't even imagine the pain being inflicted here.
Chavo's family must be so proud of him, upholding the family tradition the way he does.
No doubt about that, King. The fans are getting their money's worth here tonight.
It's huge, JR! It's gigantic! A giant elbow drop! And that's easier said than done, JR. The human body can only absorb so much punishment. He just stole his opponent's finishing move. Talk about adding insult to injury, JR.
This has turned into a real slobber knocker, 15 feet in the air.
I think this one's almost over, JR. I don't even know how these superstars are still going. I'd like to see things from your perspective, JR, but I'd have to get my head out of my rear end first.
Getting hit with that monitor won't do you any favors, that's for sure. Boy, I think I've had nightmares about trying to do something like that, King. A DDT! What a big move from the lovely diva!
Climbing up the turnbuckle isn't bad. It's all the ways you could come down that hurt.
What an incredible performance by these phenomenal superstars. Well, that's okay then, because she doesn't seem to be acting very ladylike, King.
I tell you, JR, this one has the potential to be a Match of the Year candidate.
He might as well start walking back to the locker room. He's out of this match. This could be the match. She's one good tug away from victory. Escape is only inches away for this phenomenal superstar. My God, he's just inches away from escaping the cage. He's been chomping at the bit, and now he's getting his chance to enter the match. If you root around under the ring long enough, you're bound to find a weapon of some sort or another.
I don't think I've ever felt more anticipation during a match than I am right now, JR.
He just nailed his opponent with that modified STO. We've got a superstar in the casket. This one might be over. A textbook Oklahoma slam. That could be it for his opponent.
Not after the referee counted the 3 count, JR. That's about as decisive as you can get.
She's got the top off, which means she's halfway to winning this match.
Well, he did what he came to do. He beat down his opponent until he could get the pinfall.
His opponent tried to hang on, but the pain was just too great. Well, one match doesn't decide anything, King. I'd love to see them go at it again. I'll be honest with you, King. This is not the way I thought this match would go at all.
You've got to love Ric Flair. The Nature Boy doesn't let anything stand in his way.
Some excellent in-ring awareness there, pulling his opponent off the cage. It looks like we've got a superstar who's heading 6 feet under.
No kidding. We knew it wasn't going to be pretty, but I'm shocked at what we saw here tonight. What a drop! That's exactly why Hell in a Cell is so dangerous, JR.
A huge DDT! That'll scramble your brains for sure.
Oh man, I've been in this hole before, JR. This brings back some bad memories.
His opponent is in position, and he's poised to take full advantage. No! 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 That's a 30-foot fall! Here comes another competitor. This is turning into a real slobber knocker.
They say imitation's the sincerest form of flattery, but I don't think that's the case here.
That's a tough way to lose a match, tapping out to your opponent's submission hold. There's not an ounce of quit in either superstar, but only one will remain on the ladder. He's up in the high-rent district. I think we know what's coming next.
What are you talking about, JR? She's standing by her man. I think it's great. I know these superstars want to keep going, but I don't know if they're going to be able to for much longer.
Folks, if you're not a fan of this man, you'd better close your eyes.
Oh, man! How'd you like to get hit with a 2x4 wrapped in barbed wire, JR?
Oh, my! This is going to get ugly if they don't take that sledgehammer away. And that might have done it. A textbook DDT by the master of the maneuver.
Well, after tonight, I'd have to say that maybe there's one superstar who does.
I think the fans would be happier if everyone kept their noses out of this match. Then maybe he's not smart enough to realize how dangerous his opponent really is.
Oh my gosh! What a DDT! He put everything he had into that one.
Good Lord! Did you just see that? Thrown from the top of the cell! You know damn well what he's doing, King. It's the crippler crossface. Would you at least try and not sound so gleeful, King? This is serious. I guess it was too much to hope for that he'd stay backstage until this one was over.
You might be right, JR, but I don't hear the ring bell. This match is still going. Are you kidding? Now anything goes. It doesn't get any better than that, JR. Yeah, and it's spelled DDT. That could be all she wrote.
This is a vicious, brutal match, and there's the proof.
I almost feel bad for Taz and Michael Cole. They never get to call matches as good as this. Well, if you got a problem with it, maybe you should do something about it, JR.
Maybe so, King, but it certainly has lost him a lot of fans as far as I can tell. It has indeed, King, and I think it's only going to get better from here on out.
Not after his opponent tapped out, JR. I guess we know who the better superstar is.
I hope he's not looking for a weapon. That could do some serious damage.
If I could figure out a way to say it using only one-syllable words, I'd do it, JR. There it is! The RKO! Man, it's as fast as it is deadly. Well, you might not like it, JR, but he's going to do whatever it takes to win this one. Oh man, I can't imagine anything worse than being buried alive in that casket.
We can only hope for a rematch, because I don't think this settled anything.
Now, JR, keep your words soft and sweet, because you may have to eat them later. I'd be surprised if this didn't end soon, JR. I don't think there's enough left in the tank.
I think fatigue is set in here, King. I don't think this was going to last too much longer.
That was great! Remember, JR, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. Oh my gosh! That power bomb's not just big, it was huge!
I don't know if he's even going to be able to finish this match with a gusher like that. That's it. The match is over for that particular superstar.
I'm torn, JR. I want to see what's under there, but I don't want the match to end. So come on, JR. Just between you and me. Who are you pulling for in this matchup? You're not kidding, JR. He's going for the STF. This isn't going to be pretty. You're right. It's not good. It's great. They're not holding anything back.
Stone Cold Stunner. Stone Cold Stunner! Can you believe it?
There it is! The execution! You've got to give him credit for that one, JR. Look at this, JR. Can you imagine Smackdown putting on a match half as good as this? If he's not the dirtiest player in the game, JR, he's a shoo-in for second place.
Look at the defiance on the face of this superstar, King. You talk about a slobber knocker. That was a human demolition derby right there. He started climbing. If he makes it over the cage, he's won the match. I've got a feeling that this has all the makings of an instant classic.
I've been looking forward to this match all night, JR. I can't believe it's finally underway.
Oh my God! That's his opponent's finisher. He just stole it.
Wow! What a jawbreaker! Someone's going straight to the dentist after this one.
And that's the top of the cage, but you still got to get out of it to win. Is it time? Yes, we've got another superstar joining the match.
I thought I'd pick the winner before the match started, JR, but now I'm having second thoughts. Let me tell you, JR, you won't see action like this anywhere except on Raw.
He's putting his opponent through hell, and he's using the cage to do it.
I can't believe he just did that. He just threw his opponent right off the cell.
Good Lord! That was a heck of a power bomb right there. I honestly can't remember, King. That wasn't pretty, but it was decisive.
Come on, JR, admit it. Those divas fulfilled your fantasy here tonight, didn't they?
He doesn't look too happy about it, but an elimination is an elimination.
It's the House of Pain. That hole's going to do some serious damage if it isn't broken quick.
I might, but I'd rather keep it to myself if it's all the same to you, King. It sure is, King, and even if you break the hole, it takes its toll on you. The referee had better get in there and take a look at that. We may need to stop this match. My God, he's tearing his opponent apart with that 2x4. Oh, would you look at this? Talk about arrogant. It's sickening.
And this can be a big mistake, JR. You don't ever want to give an opponent time to recover. I'm not taking anything away from him, JR. I'm just saying I'm surprised, that's all. And tonight, he was the better man. But I wonder what would happen in a rematch.
We knew that was going to happen to one of these divas, and I guess she's the unlucky one.
Oh, man. I guess that's better than being put through a table, but not much.
I don't think that's going to happen, King. He's built up too much momentum to be stopped now. What a battle. Neither superstar can afford to be knocked off the ladder.
Believe it, JR. We all saw it with our own eyes. What a match. Oh, my gosh. There's the neck breaker. That's a heck of a move, JR.
What a vicious shot from those steel steps. If she gets that top off, I think we're going to need an ambulance for the King. Well, he'd better hope he doesn't get caught, because that's the sort of thing you get disqualified for. It's what they paid to see, King, and they're getting their money's worth tonight. Strategy hell? That was a blatant violation of the rules. It looks like he's sizing up his opponent's ankle. We've seen this before. Oh no! The referee's been knocked out! This can't be good! It looks as if she's decided to make her presence known in this match.
Oh, here we go. What a jerk. How about continuing the match? I know I'm not. A count-out? What a lousy end to a great match.
And she got one! What a DDT that was!
Well, I heard that we gave him an IQ test and the results came back negative. Did you ever think you'd be watching these superstars compete against each other here tonight, JR? Come on, JR. You know that the referee's health plan doesn't include vision.
Well, all I can say is someone's been eating their vitamins and saying their prayers.
What? Is he nuts? He doesn't really think he's going to lift him, does he?
What a shot! I don't think that was ever meant to be used like that.
They sure do, JR. And there it is, a textbook 619. They sure did, JR. And nobody does it better than the WWE Divas.
It's a long way up the cage, and it's a long way back down if you don't make it. Tapping out to a submission hold is not the way you want to lose a match.
No question about that, JR. The fans certainly seem to be into it, that's for sure. Oh my gosh, can you imagine getting beaten with your own finisher, JR?
Here comes another superstar. Business is about to pick up. Well, referees get paid to make the tough decisions, and that's what happened here tonight.
Do you really think that a monster like Kane is capable of being a traitor, JR?
That's got to be it. You're not going to recover from a fall like that. He damn near broke his opponent in half along with the table.
All's fair in love and war, JR, and this definitely qualifies as a war. It really is like being married to your career. There's not much room for anything else. A fist fight 15 feet in the air. This isn't going to be pretty. He might have gotten the pinfall, but no one walks away from a match like that unscathed. DDT! DDT! That could be the difference maker, JR.
Is he ever? There it is, King. The figure 4. He's tuning up the choir, and I think we all know what's next.
Oh, man! Even the toughest superstar would have trouble getting up from that. There he goes, JR. He's been busted open. Look at all of that blood.
The submission has been expertly applied, and now it's just a matter of time.
Oh, man. 10 feet in the air and all the way down again.
You've got to have some excellent conditioning to be able to do what they do. He sure is. He's got the lasso from El Paso locked in.
What are you talking about, JR? JBL's a genius when it comes to money. Oh, man, what a DDT. No one does it better than that man right there.
He's climbing out of the cage. Can his opponent stop him in time? He's on top of that turnbuckle, but I think he wants to get higher.
Stunner! Did you see that, JR? He almost took his opponent's head off. Well, he can do this until the cows come home, but that's not going to win him the match.
No doubt about it, King. This one's going to be hell on the anatomy for sure.
Talk about adding insult to injury. Tossed out of the ring and the match. Oh, she's been making her presence known since the second she came out here, JR.
He's got the fans behind him, King, and his opponent had better watch out.
Yes, it's like that song, JR. Who let the puppies out? Come on, JR. Everything in WWE is meant to be used like that. Wow, stealing your opponent's finishing move definitely sends a message.
No, but having the crowd behind you can certainly get the adrenaline pumping. That's the way it's done, King. Nothing ambiguous about that outcome.
Oh no, this is terrible. You can't let your opponent build this kind of momentum.
I can't believe this. Has Eugene missed another match? And here we go. The long climb to victory has begun. I think someone's looking for a weapon under the ring. This could get ugly. And the first one to find one will take control of this match. There may not be, King. They may well annihilate each other here tonight.
Oh boy, his opponent's face down on the ground. You know what that means?
I think this crowd has decided to exercise the right of free speech. This match is literally inches away from being over.
They sure are, JR. There's no question these superstars are earning their paychecks.
There goes the table. Remind me to buy stock in a furniture company. What an amazing match. I certainly would not be adverse to seeing a rematch.
Wow, and what a move it was. A picture-perfect DDT.
He's been looking for that one good shot, and this might be it. That's not exactly conduct becoming of a WWE referee.
Well, I guess that's one way to win a match. It's not the way I'd choose.
My God, would you look at the power of this superstar?
A pile driver? That's my finishing move, JR. He can't use that. Listen to the crowd, JR. I think they've got something to say to these superstars. Of course not, JR. I'm not superstitious because I know that's unlucky. Uh-oh. Come on. You got to stop this guy before he really gets going. I think I know who's going to win this match, but I don't want to say. I'm afraid I'll jinx it.
This is going to be a short match if no one takes that ladder from him. No! How can the referee allow something like that? You don't see many pillow fights here in the WWE, but this is the exception.
Yeah, but the rules should make for better matches, not end them like that.